Hey there, Mike from Sports Talk 101. So today was the trade deadline, and I'm going to go through the top, who I think the top three teams did, not just today, but throughout the week or the past couple weeks, and what they're wheeling and dealing. Um, but today specifically, who I think did really good and addressed the needs that they needed was the Vancouver Canucks. Not biased because they're my favorite team, but because they needed grit, they needed depth, they needed another depth puck moving D man, they needed strength, and they got it all. Sammy Paulson, strength, depth guy, defensive guy. Zach Kassian, young, defensive guy, really strong, gritty guy. They also got Andrew Gordon, who was a good depth guy. And then the puck moving defenseman and Marc Andre Gragnini, who was a young puck moving defenseman, who I think will do good with maybe an Aaron Rome type player, or when Ballard gets back, play good with Ballard. Um, Another team who I think did really well today or the past week or so is the Nashville Predators. They're really trying to string together a good playoff run here. They had Suter and Weber being free agents at the end of the season, and they really want to get them signed. So they're proving that they want them and they want to be contenders and they want to be winners. They went out today and they started with the first trade of the day, and they got Andre Kostitsyn, and Andre Kostitsyn is having an off year in Montreal. He's a proven goal scorer. He has scored goals before, so we know he can do it. It's the matter of if he's gonna do it and if he can get motivated to do it. I think being in a good playoff run, that'll be plenty motivation enough to get him through the playoffs or to the playoffs, and hopefully through the playoffs, and hopefully they can go on a good run and he can be that core, round out the core top 6 4 that they were looking for. They got another bottom 6, Paul Gaustad. They gave up a first round pick for him, so I hope he turns out well for him. If not, it could be considered a bust, I guess. But Paul Gaustad, a pretty good player. He's been to the playoffs a lot, and he's a good character guy, a good locker room guy. I think a good vet who will bring a lot of maturity to the locker room at that. Another guy that they picked up was oh, they picked up Hal Gill about a week ago as a depth defenseman. Um, Hal Gill is a very good defensive defenseman. Once again, Stanley Cup winner, brings maturity and leadership to the team. He can bang the body, and he's good hockey sense, and I think that he, along with Suter and Weber and Blom and the other good defensive guys that they got there, he can teach them, and they're going to be a pretty good defensive core going through the playoffs. Another team who I think quietly got it done, addressed some needs, was the Tampa Bay Lightning. They acquired some good young players. Like they made a deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They sent Carter Ashton, prospect forward, for Keith Aulie. Keith Aulie kind of is getting thrown under the bus over there in Toronto. I don't know why. He's in Wilson's doghouse, and once you're in Wilson's doghouse, you're not getting out. So they shipped him off and got themselves a decent forward prospect. So Keith Aulie to Tampa. Yeah, they needed defense, so they got Keith Aulie. They also went out and they got themselves Mike Commodore for a 7th round pick. Once again, basically nothing. That was just trying just to move out a contract to possibly bring in another guy. And another deal that they made, Brian Lee from Matt Gilroy. This one I think was a hockey move, of course, defenseman for defenseman. Two different kind of defensemen. So just a different look I think they're trying to get. Steve Yzerman taking a page out of the Red Wings book and starting from D out. So that should be yeah. So I think those 3 teams did pretty good. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. Sorry for the long video, but yeah, have a good night.